Hey Chris, thanks for getting back to me on that chat. I think it's going to be a fun project when I finish it. Also, I sent you another message. My friend Meta John wanted to do a commission. I don't know if you got his emails. Hey, Hangover. Yeah, he said he tried to contact you. Hopefully he went to the right site. I'm not really sure. If you want to shoot me your email in Instagram, I could send that to him. Because maybe he sent it to the wrong place. Because usually you seem to be fast on the emails. So like I said, maybe he sent it somewhere else by accident. Yeah, send it to me on Instagram and I'll send it to him after the stream. And then this way, get back to you. Hey, the customer, how's it going? I appreciate it. Hey, it's been one of those weeks. Hopefully next week it'll be back to normal. A lot of family stuff going on, so haven't had a chance to really get stuff done. Hey, Raz. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to make a different base for this Harley statue. I don't know if you guys know, prices are up everywhere. Should know that by now. So I was actually casting an item up this week. So I bought another gallon kit of resin, which was like $180 shipped, I think now, or $170, something like that. Used to be like $115 shipped. So I used up all the resin, and I forgot to make myself a small generic base for Harley. So I said, screw it, let's kind of chop up the base that she came with. So for those who you don't know, the inside of the base is hollow. So that's what the base looks like, hollow. Hey, what's up, Matthew? Yeah, resin has gone up a lot, so that's why statues have gone up. So when you put your statue into the base, this is what it looks like inside, sometimes. So when you put this in there, you're thinking you're just putting into like a solid resin. You're just going that far into the base. And that's pretty much what it looks like in there. So whenever you get these hollow bases from sideshow or companies, it's because they're saving on money. So this is all the resin they used, but all that resin that they didn't use inside. So what I did is I chopped off the top part, and then I chopped off the bottom part, so this is the middle of it. And I was going to put the top part on the bottom, but then I realized there wasn't going to be enough meat for the key to go through and everything, because I would have to break this. So what I did is I had some resin here, some resin blocks from other stuff and some Aves over the week. So I attached this block in there, and then I had this from a year or two ago, this extra resin I poured in a container. So I'm going to put this on there, and we're going to create a base looking like that. So that's kind of what I'm doing for the base for her. Now, the only other thing though is, even though this is going to be a lower center of gravity, somewhat, you know, you could, if you're not careful, it's possible she could tip. So I have some fishing weights. These are just lead weights you could pick up at, you know, Walmart or wherever you can get lead weights. And we're going to put some freeform air in here and some of these weights, so this will weigh this down a little bit more. Lower gravity, because you know it was like this high before. It was like that high. She really wouldn't tip over, but I like to be a little bit extra safe. So I'm just gonna take, like, you know, one weight here, here, and here, and just give it some more weight to it. So if you guys have any fishing equipment or you want to weigh down your items, get yourself some lead. So basically we'll put like lead on each side. Kind of weigh it down a little bit more. Just a little bit. You don't have to make it like 50 pounds, but just to give it a little bit more weight to it. Because freeform air is kind of light. So that's the inside of your items. It's rotocasted, so if anyone who in the stream or watches it after it's up, it's rotocasted. So what they do is they put it in a container and they turn it, and it turns and turns and turns. So all this stuff is resin is just going around the edge, and then it cures, and that's how you get that hollow item without wasting all that resin. Just how these factories do it. And then I can save this wooden plank for something else down the line. Like say if I ever do an anime kit and I wanted like a little wooden floor, I can save this. So use these gloves. I don't know if they're making freeform sculpt anymore, but when I did try to freeform sculpt a while back in some streams, I picked up a kit from them, and the sculpt is like, they're trying to make a rival to like Aves Epoxy Sculpt and Magic Sculpt. The only problem with the freeform sculpt is it's very, very tacky and sticky, and it's very hard to work with. Now, that was about 2 years ago I used it, or maybe it was definitely before the lockdown, so maybe it might have been like the year before the lockdowns. I think they said they were going to try to reformulate it, because I told the guy at the Jersey Fest show that this stuff is very hard to work with. It's very tacky, and it doesn't work like anything else. So at the time he told me they were focusing more on the freeform air. And they were going to reformulate the sculpt, but I don't know if they ever did. The freeform air is very, I mean, I'm going to mix them up now. I use it as filler, really. I use it as a filler item or for landscapes. Yeah, if there's freeform sculpt on Amazon, but if you go to the Smooth On site and see if they still sell it, then that might be an old item. Like I said, I don't know if they're using it anymore because there's a lot of bad reviews of the freeform sculpt. So I don't know if they discontinued it. But I'll show you the air now. So the air this is a gallon kit, which is a gallon kit means you get 1 gallon of A and 1 gallon of B. So it's actually like 2 gallons of sculpt. Now I'm not going to mix up a hell of a lot. Just enough to fill around the edge. Yeah, freeform air is good if you want to make like a, you know, a rocky base. If you want to make a simple base, like alright, so say you want to make a base out of this, you know, and you don't want to buy resin and pour resin into a container. You could buy freeform air and smush it in there, but it might bond to the plastic. Honestly, if you just want to make a circle base, let me grab a... Hey, what's up, Iceman? My suggestion is just go over to you know, if you want to just go over to Walmart, Target, a dollar store and find yourself some pizza tins. You can do one of two things. You could get the freeform air, mix it up and smush it in the base, and then after it cures, pop it out. Or you could just buy the 2-part resin from Smooth On, A and B, mix it in a cup, pour it in there, and then you can make bases like this out of, you know. So what you do is you pour it in there, and then once it cools down, it shrinks and pops out of this tin. And then after that, you get yourself a base like this. So the way I like to make my base is I use tins, I throw baby powder in there, get baby powder dust. You can see the dusting in here, the baby powder dusting. And then I just pour in my resin, and then I pop it out, and then I sand it down. So honestly, 2-part resin will give you a cleaner, simple base like this than to try to smush this in there and make something. But the resin you want to get is Smooth Cast. There's Smooth Cast 300, which cures like really fast. Like you mix it, pour it in, and in like 5 minutes it cures and it's like resin. Then there's the 305, which cures in like I think 20 minutes, and then there's the 310 or 15 that cures in like in a couple hours. Yeah, you can try a wooden base and put the freeform air on it, but the problem is, like what you want to do is you want to grind up the top of the base with some holes like this or something. So this way, when you put the freeform air on there, it'll bond to it better. If you put the freeform air onto a smooth surface like this, it might not really bond and pop off on you. So as you can see in here, when I put in my eaves, the extra eaves, I scored it, basically. So this way when I put the freeform air in here, it'll bond to it a little bit better. But you should grab a kit of this and try it out and see if you like it. Hey, what's up, Raccoon? Freeform air is sort of like 2-part resin, and even Eve's epoxy sculpt. You mix it together, and then it just cures in a couple hours. But freeform air is very light. It's like a marshmallow in your hand. You know, like this probably weighs a little bit more than this. That's how light this stuff is. It's like marshmallowy. And it does expand a little bit too, so you got to be careful with the expanding on it. Now, a gallon kit, so you can see I got gallon A, gallon B. This used to cost like $90 plus shipping, but it went up a lot. But it's really good for me because whenever I want to fill in stuff, it's actually cost effective because it's lightweight. So all the money that I put into this this gallon kit to fill this area here, compared to if I bought a $45 kit of epoxy sculpt, and to fill this in here, I would probably burn about that much of epoxy sculpt, and I would waste it in here, and this would become very, very heavy. Versus just using this freeform air, filling this in, and it fills up your area and it's lightweight. But you want to use gloves when you mix this stuff because it does leave a residue on you. And the thicker it is, the faster it cures when you mix it. So it will get hot in your hand. Hey, what's up, John Arts Raccoon, if I didn't say hello already. Now, I think Smooth On makes a freeform air chemical to use for sculpting. I'm not really sure. I think they did. If any of you guys want to check, you can let me know. I thought I saw something on their site when I ordered. There's like a freeform air spray. I don't know if it's kind of like something to help you sculpt with where it doesn't stay tacky. See how it kind of like starts pulling off on your gloves? So after you mix it, if you leave it like this thick, the inside's going to cure really fast. But if you squish it down, it won't cure as fast. I don't know, it's kind of fun stuff actually. I like it for just making landscapes and filling stuff in. Yeah, Iceman, I saw you printed out the flash busts. You printed out a few of them. Okay, Hango yeah, I thought there was something there, so I'll have to look into that someday. Maybe I'll pick up a bottle and try it out. Because usually I just use baby powder. But I'm always sculpting like rocks and scenery. So like a tennis ball weighs more than this, you know, something like that. Customizer, is that a lot? Probably is. Yeah, like I said, I like freeform air, but I don't like it enough to drop that much money on it, you know. You probably could find something a little bit cheaper out there. Maybe. Now, the only reason why I'm using this to fill this in is because I don't like hollow items too much, especially on bases, if I can help it. But I'll show you the plan, what I'm planning on doing here. So then we take a lead weight, fishing weight, and just throw that right there. In Germany, give me a second, customizer. I'll grab the container. You might be able to find something else to use as a filler, where you don't have to spend a lot of money. I'm gonna fill it in more than I need to, and I'll show you what I plan on doing. Okay. Alright, so this is the base I want to put like right about there. So what I'm going to do is grab my glue. Throw some glue over here. And then push this onto here like this. Try to line it up in the center. Now what's going to happen is this freeform air, now there's not a lot of like air in there to kind of stop it. It might actually start curing and squeezing up outwards. I've seen that happen a few times with this stuff. So we're gonna see how this works, but we're gonna take some of this Insta-Set, make sure we're still lined up. So now what I want to do is let this cure, and then I want to lock this piece onto this. So what I'll do is I'll take like another day, or if I have some extra A's during the week, I'll put A's around this edge, and then I'll lock this into place. And I might even drill this down a little bit too to connect this to the bottom part. But I think that's a cool little design for the Harley. So after that's done, what we'll do is we'll take a tool, we'll kind of scrape this out. It's I find it very hard to the freeform air to make it smooth, even when you kind of sand it down and prime it. Now if you use a brush with it and water, you're gonna kill your brush, so I'm just gonna pull this stuff out. Reason why I'm going down thicker, taking it out, is because, like I said, it will expand on us. It either expands because I put too much water in there, or it just expands on its own. Not really sure. So that's a good start to the base, and it's got a little weight now because of the lead weights. And then always close up your container so you don't dry this stuff out. Alright, the customizer, if you're still there, check your hobby stores if you have Durham's putty. So you mix, it's a powder, it's a yellow powder, you mix it with water, and then basically you can use that as a filler. So down there is that Durham's putty, and it dries pretty well. So if you need a filler, this stuff is pretty good for filler, you know. So you can use it for your housework, your wood, plumbing, and you can even use it for hobby stuff, because it shows you here you can use it for hobby stuff. So, hey, more. We used Freeform Air, which was this stuff here. Same stuff I used to sculpt on here. So there is a block of resin down there holding up this block of resin. Now it's at a little bit of an angle, but that's okay if you look at it, it's like at an angle. And then I put Freeform Air around here, and then once that's secured, we'll put some A's around there and we'll lock this into place. So what I might try to do is sand the top down a little bit. Yeah, this stuff is good. It's not bad. I think at Home Depot, this stuff used to be like $7 a can, and I think maybe it's around, I think now it's around 12 because of the inflation. But this is good stuff to use as filler. So if you guys are working on any kits, bases, or hollow items, or you can even sculpt with this stuff too. You can actually make a base like this with this stuff. So with this Freeform Air, since we have a little extra, it's good to kind of utilize it. The biggest downside to the Freeform Air is it leaves a residue on your hand a lot. Like, Aves leaves a residue, Magiscope leaves a residue, but not as tacky as Freeform Air. Freeform Air leaves like a really tacky residue, and I hate it when it's stuck all over my. That's why I throw this wax paper down, because I don't want all that residue all over my table. Here it is. So, for the Freeform Air, like I say, I like to use sand on it. Some old good Jersey sand. And then you kind of just create a broken pillar type thing with this stuff. Some water is good. Get in there and so it doesn't stick to the wood. But once Freeform Air dries, it's pretty stiff. It's durable. It's not like you can dig your nail into it and like scrape it like a marshmallow. It cures pretty well. It's just starting out, it's marshmallowy. Iceman, as far as keys, I personally don't care about painting keys. Like, you know, the factories paint their keys all the way down and it covers the magnet. But when I paint stuff, if you're not going to see this, there's no sense in painting it. It doesn't make any sense. It's going into the head, and even if you paint it, it'll probably scrape up anyway. As long as the main head and everything is painted, I don't care about the keys. Some people do, but to me, I don't think it's a big deal. This is why I like to add sand to it. It helps from sticking, but it also helps with like giving it that rough texture. Because all this stuff I rubbed off, like with a brush, a steel wire brush, and it kind of keeps that like rocky sand broken look to it. This right here, I had a little spill of resin on here. That's why that looks smooth. But it's good to have this on the side so I don't waste some materials. Yeah, so basically, normally I would like to do this all in one shot, but like you can see all these bits of Aves that I've been sticking everywhere, just so I don't waste stuff. But yeah, this residue gets everywhere. So once it's cured, it feels like nothing. There's no stickiness, no tacky. You can prime it, you can sand it, you can chop it, do whatever you want to. It's good stuff. One thing I've learned though is you don't want to get that freeform air residue on your hands and then on the statue. So if you're working on a statue and then you start touching it and you get that residue, it'll go away once it dries. But if you're trying to work on it for like an hour, it'll drive you nuts how that residue just sticks to everything. Even on your tools, so I won't use this tool anymore. All right. Yeah, so the other thing too is if you guys ever, so like say this statue here, so this Wonder Woman I'm working on, right? Say this base was really light and she was too top heavy. Basically what you can do is you could Dremel out a hole this thick, like this thick here, on the bottom of this. And then you can start throwing in lead weights in there and then seal it up with Aves. And then basically you'll make the base a lot heavier and it won't topple over as much. So get yourself a whole bunch of different sizes so you can fit it into places. If you have to too, you can saw these in half. But okay, so I don't think this is expanding because it's got enough air in here. Let's double check. No, I don't think it is. Should be fine. Yeah, so basically, once this is set up, we'll set up Harley in here. I'll have to Dremel out a better key area. And then this way we have a nice smaller base for her. What I also did is I cleaned up her chest up here. I got all this cleaned up, and then I cut this rod for when we're ready to start doing the outfit. And then this piece I bent up a little bit better, and I notched out the back of her here. So this piece, when I'm ready to do this, I'll glue this down. As you can see. So this way when I put the eaves over it, I don't have to worry about this snapping or if I hold it the wrong way. I mean, I could technically still break it, but at least I'll have some kind of support. So it'll go like that. But I think we're going to mix up a little eaves, and I think we're going to do like a little bit of a broad texture up here, and then maybe a little tiny piece down in there. So I think once I get this set up, we can start working on the whole outfit. You know what? Let me grab something to drink. So since I'm going to mix up Eve's, I'm using a new set of gloves because I don't want to mix any of that residue of the freeform air into this stuff. I don't know what it would do. I had to fix it out of the fridge. I just remembered I gotta call the hobby store to see if my paints came in. I never got a call from them yet. What's going on? I did a special order of some Vallejo model air paints. Black and mahogany, because I'm running out of those two colors and I love those a lot. The hobby store doesn't actually carry model air, they only carry the Vallejo Mecha. But I asked the lady if she could do a special order and they could, but they could only order it in 6-pack, which I wanted a 6-pack anyway. It's been about 4 weeks and it still hasn't come in yet, so I gotta give them a call and find out what's going on. I like the Mecha Vallejo black, but I like the model air black better because it's a little bit more, it's more of a flat black, so I just like that color better. I'm not a fan of glossy acrylic colors like black. If I'm going to use a glossy black, I try and use the Spaztec glossy black. If I can. Yeah, but just the regular, oops, almost dropped it. Just the regular model air black. It's kind of flat, and I'm so used to using this stuff now, so. The model air seems to be really good with a paintbrush. if I want to do like, you know, eyelashes, black hair, and paintwork with a brush as well. But the SpazTech gloss black, if I need to spray an area in gloss black, like if I need to mask off an area, the SpazTech stuff is better. I'm gonna go roll out a little bit of this, make it nice and thin. I haven't had a problem with the model airs in a paintbrush. I use the model air all the time to do my trim around stuff before I mask, so... Okay, so I'm thinking of doing some kind of a... part up here on the bra with like a texture, and then throw a little piece down here like so, instead of doing a whole texture bra, which I don't think I can really pull off. Well, you know what you could do, Hangerbird? This is what I do. Sometimes I'll put a couple drops of the Vallejo model air on the here, and just sort of like smush it around a little bit, but let it kind of dry up a bit. And then once it starts to dry up a little bit, it's a little bit thicker. If you pour it out and then you start using it right away, it is a little watery. So if you just kind of like put it in here and just kind of like let it sit, like say you're ready to work on something, put a couple drops in, get everything prepared, get everything ready, and then by the time you start using it, it might be a little bit thicker. So, and then as you're working, the stuff does dry up fairly faster, so sometimes you got to kind of put a couple drops in. Like, one little drop goes a far way. You don't have to pour out the whole bottle, you know? It's just one way of looking at it. I was wondering if I had a stamp. Something I can stamp. Container of trinkets. that piece might work. No, I don't have anything I thought would work. And that's not going to work either. Alright, maybe I got some kind of cloth or something. I wonder if this might work. No, it's not. Nope. Try this. Maybe if I put that around there. Those are for anime kits. I haven't done it. Let's see if I have any of the other stuff. I kind of want to save this for something else. This is what I was looking for. Let's see if I can use this on something. Alright, I'm going to throw some baby powder on this, and then I'm going to see how this works on it. Gotta get a good angle for this. It's got a little bit of a texture. Not bad. Can leave it. Probably kind of hard to see. Yeah, I think that works. And then what we'll do is we'll put a little piece down on there. And then I figure we're gonna be painting this like a silky white or pink, like in a picture, I guess. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah, I'm not trying to make it super crazy, just kind of like a little bit of a bra type thing. I'm not trying to make it like, you know, pop out or anything like that. I was thinking probably white, because if we're doing our traditional colors, we got to get some kind of white in there, I guess. Kind of hard to see at the angle, but it sort of pushes it up a little bit. Yeah, I'm thinking white. Maybe a hint of pink in it, but closer to white. because it's gonna come down like there, like this. It's gonna go up that way. So it's gonna be like that. Alright, so let's glue on this rod, because we're probably going to start doing the zipper next week. The zipper is going to be first. And then we'll put the collar over the zipper. And the zipper is going to have to connect to this. Yeah, that'll stay. I thought maybe I would have to like staple this in, but once the A's is on top, it'll lock it into place, so I don't have to worry about that. So that's fine. Hey, how's it going, Leonard? I'm gonna lock this into place too with some A's. So we're gonna throw little A's on here. Sort of. May look messy, but it'll get covered up anyway. Elastic mask. I use Silly Putty. Maybe other people, maybe you're talking about some other company stuff. But my stuff is Silly Putty for masking. It's the stuff here. You know, the stuff that comes in those the eggs. No, that's fine. Don't worry about the whole English barrier. We're trying to help you the best I can. I order mine off of the Crayola store. I'll find you the link right now. That's what I buy. It's a 5-pound brick of silly putty. So anytime you see me masking in my videos, I use this stuff. So this is an older batch. This is a newer batch. And basically, you know, you just whenever you go to paint. So say you want to, you know, you want to mask off her thing, you can just put this sort of like that. You know, grab your masking tool, and basically you could just start masking your area. Spray your paint and then pull it off. So yeah, silly putty, and you can use this over and over and over. Hopefully that helps you out. That's what you're asking for. That's what I use. Now the 5-pound brick is what I buy because it's the cheapest option out there. If you buy a 5-pound brick, so you get a box like this, and you get a huge thing of silly putty, and that'll last you probably like 10 years. And if you don't think you'll use it all, if you have a friend that paints, you could split a box with them. I better move this before I spill this damn thing. Yeah, no problem. Good luck getting some. It's funny how I discovered silly putty back in the day, going to like the Jersey Fest show and stuff at Dave's house and in the hobby, and to this day it's still one of the best masking tools out there. Yeah, this was the Patreon's choice winner item, so we're doing our own little take on it. So I got a little bit of Aves, so I think maybe if I'm careful without messing up that, we can do at least one of these, or maybe both of these parts here, and get these going. Yeah, I'm not worried about the bubble. It's underneath, because what I'll do is I'll sand this down before we lay Aves on top of it. Because what happens is, if you push this bubble down, it squeezes underneath there again. And if I squeeze underneath there, the bubble comes out again. So it's actually better to keep the underneath clear, and then just sand this down real quick the next day. Otherwise, you'll just be playing with it all damn day trying to make it even. Literally, that'll take like 5 seconds just to sand down. I used to try that in the beginning. You know, I'd be like, alright, I'm going to try it, and I just keep playing with it when I was just like, ah, screw it, I'll just sand it down. But, alright, before, we're going to let this Aves harden up a bit. I want to let it stiffen up a little bit more. I'm going to grab my other Aves, but I want to work on that Wonder Woman part real quick. So we're going to put her aside just for right now. So, trying to get this done for a client. Been working on her a lot. You can see I did the belt. Booty and everything is done. I added her boots on. So before I actually do her her chest guard, I'm going to actually kind of add up the bottom of it. Because it'll be a little bit easier to do this part later. So I kind of want to build the corset underneath of her. Because if I try to do the belt into here, it's going to be a nightmare. I meant to do this the other day, but something came up, so I haven't had a chance to do what I wanted to get done. So far, I'm pretty much happy with the way this one's turning out. I was a little concerned about the belt on the waist, but once I got it on there and I sanded it down, it came out pretty decent. I think one of my better belts I've done. It's just a little bit easier to have this filled in. Probably should do the whole back of her too. You know what? We're gonna do that. Screw it. So whenever I disappear, I'm going in the garage and I use baby powder and roll it out. Because it's easier to do it in the garage instead of getting all this dust all over the damn house. So let's see if we can kind of build the whole corset. Hey, weapon 5, was it 5, line 4? So we're gonna kind of bring this back here. I'll add details later to it. I just think it's a little bit easier to kind of get this on there now. What I'll do is I'm going to push this in here like that, and then what I'll do is I'll create something in here, because you, with an outfit, you won't see that deep cut in her back. Gonna have to add some line work on it later too. Do all that once we get the basic shape done. Thick here, I gotta thin this part down. I know when Sideshow did theirs, they actually undercut it like really heavy underneath the breasts. I'm not really a fan of that too much, but I will add some wrinkles on the sides. So... Alright, so that's kind of what I'd do for that, and then this will leave me a better room to cut down the outfit, the armor. What I'll probably do is I got a lot of flat eaves that's cured in the garage. What I'll do is I'll make a triangle and I'll glue it on there, and then I'll build it so it's not back on her, it's going to be sticking straight up in the air. So this way, I just drew it there to give me an idea. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm pretty much do for that. I'll have to redraw the armor anyway. Yeah, looking at it far away, I like it. And then what I'll do is I'll add lines coming down from there, going down to here. Give her those lines and stuff. Cool. Alright, at least I got that done. I wish I did this the other day, but just didn't have time. And I already magnetized this in here. And if, once again, this is why I like to use the pink eaves on the gray primer. It lets me know where my fingerprints are. So as you can see, I got residue on the leg. Okay, let's see how this eaves is doing. It might work. I didn't hit this or anything. Nope. Alright, so before I roll this out again, I'm going to mix some safety solvent in it. Get that baby powder sort of out of that. Soften it up a little bit more. And I can roll it back out again. Alright, so I'm going to start with one leg, see how this goes. So we're going to do one leg here. So this is the extra eaves that I cut. By the time I'm done with this leg, this stuff is going to get really stiff on me. So we're going to use some of this now and not waste it. So the idea with the base for Harley is I want to take some eaves. Like I'll do this extra eaves during the week so I don't waste it on the stream. and just pretty much roll it and lock this into place like so. And I'll have to sand it down. It's not going to be 100% perfect, but it'll lock this in place and it'll give it a little bit of a look without spending crazy amounts of money on a new base with resin. The customizer, I don't know, what are you trying to do? I don't understand, what do you mean with aluminum for what? So that won't be perfect, but it'll lock it in, and then if I have to, I could put some more A's on it, and I can sand it down, and I can kind of just keep going around this area until it's kind of like rounded a bit. And what we'll do is kind of push this down. And just keep doing that so I don't waste A's. And then what I said, I might Dremel into this a bit to lock it in there and kind of throw A's in that way and really lock this on. Oh, you want to make knee pads. There's a couple ways of doing it. I wouldn't use aluminum. I would use saran wrap. You know, basically, if you take some saran wrap and you put it over the knee, like so, right? You can roll out your Aves and you can lay it on top of it and let it sit there for the night, and then the next day you just pop it right off, and then from there you can start fine-tuning it, if that's what you're asking. The reason why I say saran wrap is because it won't stick to your item, plus when you pull it off the next day you can just kind of like sand it if it actually sticks to the Aves, but usually it doesn't. If you throw a little baby powder on your Aves like this and then you lay this part on the knee overnight, the next day you'll pick it up and it'll have that shape. Is that kind of what you're going at? That's the way I do it. Like if I want to make a knee pad or a pad, basically it's easier to get the basic shape first, especially if you want to cut a hole in it too. Like say you want to cut a hole in the knee, so this way you can just kind of glue it in at the end. You could cut a hole and you can push the eaves into that hole with the saran wrap on top of it, and then the next day when you pop it off, you have a little bit of a key where you could dab some glue and you could glue it in at the end, you know, because you're not going to see the knee anyway, right? So you put a hole, you put your saran wrap there, put some eaves in it, lay your eaves on top of it as well, and then the next day you can shape it and you can add more, and you can always have that little hole as a guide to make sure you're lining up correctly. So, say similar to, like, say you wanted to make a key, so you have a hole here, right? You put a bunch of eaves in there, and then you squeeze your item into it, and when the next day when you pop it out, you pull out your saran wrap that's stuck to this, but you have your key with all that eaves. I did it 2 or 3 streams ago when I did the Psylocke base for the key on her, which I'll pop her out after I work on this. Hold on 1 second. Let me get that email to my friend. Alright. Alright, so let's do this leg here, and hopefully we don't mess up her bra that we just did a little while ago. I think I'm going to leave this solid, and then when we paint this, then maybe make this some, maybe make this the same color as the outfit, but down here make this like see-through. Is that kind of how the outfit is? Not really, but I guess I could. So this sort of is the broken one. Yeah, you might as well customize it, Raz. Why not? You could always buy it again. this so I don't. That's the only problem I hate with sculpting stuff in other areas. I was afraid I'm gonna crush it. I'll sand this down because it's fairly thick. I'm leaning on there, but I'll take this down one day. I'll have to do the other leg another time because if I try and do it now, I'm probably gonna mess this one up. This is one's gonna flop over. Actually, wait a second. Oh, if it's no, it'll be down like this. Yeah, I'll rework it if I have to. This clips onto there, so that would push it up. All right. So the other reason too is this will give me a chance to sand this one down between the legs. Then I can add this one and sand that one down. Because if I make them too thick, I'll never get the sandpaper there. Alright, so I think that works. Since we got some more eaves. Since I put the freeform air around there, it's not really super hot, but it's a little warm. You can sort of feel it's kind of like that thick maybe, so it stays a little warm. Alright, so we can put her aside. And we've got Psylocke. Alright, so this morning I looked her over and I didn't like the way this whole seam over here and here was. It didn't look like these seams at all. So I dremeled this out. So I'm going to add some eaves and see if I could add sort of stitching to make it look like it's a little bit of fabric here. It wasn't looking good the way it was there before. It just didn't look right, so... But I've been cleaning it up a bit. The booty area is nice and clean. Up here is a little bit cleaner now. I sanded down some more areas around here. I cleaned up around this area because it was sticking out way too far. But we're pretty much getting to the point where at least the outfit and booty area is done, and I can start finishing up the hair and stuff like that. Hey Hangerbird, well thanks for stopping by. Have a good weekend. Don't eat too much. Need to save those shekels. So I don't need to mix it that much. It's just going to be easier to have fresh eaves to kind of get it in that area and see what I'm doing. If I remember on Sunday, if I find the time, I gotta break out her other arm and see which arm I'm gonna decide on using. I like the one going behind her back, but it might not work for what I want. But the more I tweak her her outfit and booty, the more I like her anatomy now. I really like what the sculptor did on this one. I think what it was the casting and the way they cut it. I wasn't a fan of the casting cut. Because I really like it. I think what it was is this stuck out way too far, and the way it was with a thong. But now that I got all that tweaked out, I kind of like it a lot better now. So I think if we can just get this seam clean, I'll be in a better position for finishing it up. At least getting to the hair. I think once I get the hair done, I can start the paint series on it. Can sort of see what I drummeled out this morning. Gives you a better idea what I'm trying to clean up. Have a good one, Chris. Thanks for stopping by. And don't forget, my friend's going to be sending you an email. Alright. Alright, mixed up way too much cheese, but that's okay. Alright, so let's see if we can create this little scene. Alright, that looks way better than when I had it before. So I think when I paint it the way I'm thinking, it should come together pretty well. Then again, once I add the sash, a lot of this will get hidden, probably. So the sash is going to go along this way to cover up this spot here. And it'll come around there. And then I'll have it flow or something around there. Way better. Now, as far as the chest goes, I don't know if I should leave that like that and paint it the same color as this, because this is all going to be like a leather, and then this is going to be like a pearl or a silk. So I'm thinking I wonder if I should add some lines. This has got a line here. Maybe I should add a line coming up here. Nah, I don't want that one. Gotta clean up that spot. I want to try to inscribe some lines on this. Sort of how this is inscribed a bit. See how that works. It's gonna be a little tricky. I'll have to do that in the garage sometime. Maybe that'll work. I'll give it a shot. Yeah, so anything that's like this will be like a leather paint, and then this will be all spandex. Now the only problem is I have to cut this off here somewhere. So I should probably just in case the sash doesn't cover it. Just in case. Next week, if I can get my ass together and get my airbrushes cleaned out, I'll start painting up that anime kit. The swimsuit girl. I got the base pretty much ready. So I think I can start getting her painted up. Except my airbrushes are so clogged, I haven't cleaned them. Haven't done any paint work in a while. For the anime kit or for Psylocke? Psylocke, I forgot, everyone voted for classic colors, right? When I made that poll. I think it was, everyone said they wanted, classic blue. But I'm not gonna paint just, you know, straight up blue and flat, done and be done. I want to try something a little extra with it. I know we did a poll. I'm pretty sure it was everyone voted on classic colors. Just sucks that there's texture on here and I can't match that texture. It's the only downfall about this kit. But I'll make it work. Why, you don't want the classic colors? Alright, that's a little bit better than what was there. So it looks gonna look like cloth now. So it's gonna be pretty much like a leather, spandex, spandex. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna try to etch this out a bit and see if it works. If not, I'll do something else. Alright, so that is definitely better than what was there. Alright, I think we're pretty much good for the night. So I'll have this sanded down by next week. What we'll do is we'll see if we can add the zipper next week. Get that lined up onto here. I'll have this sanded down. We'll see if we can add this as well. And then maybe once I get the zipper on, we can start doing the collar a little bit. But I think I need to get, we talked about getting the head down because it's too high. So I'll try during the week to get this head down a little bit. Probably going to have to pop out the magnet and yeah, the magnet's going to come out. So I'm going to have to sand the magnet down. Probably got to take off about so it should probably, I probably need to take about this much off. Maybe, yeah, maybe a little bit more. I think it's going to be a combo of taking off some of the neck and also sanding this part down a little. No, this part's got to stay high actually because it's got to have that collar. So I got to take this head down. You know what we'll do? Next week I'll set this up so we can plan out the head position. And then we can see how everybody likes the head position and then we can lock it into place. So what I'll do is I'll chop out the magnet, I'll sand this down, and we'll sort of, at the end of the night, when everything's kind of done, whatever I need to do, we'll throw some A's with some saran wrap in there, and we'll sort of set up the head to the position we want, and then I could clean it up another day. This way I could show you guys how we can reposition the neck. Yeah, we gotta get that done. So this way I'll show you guys with that. And then this, I'm gonna keep tweaking it. Maybe we can work on the sash next week as well. Get that going. And then I can start planning out the hair. But as far as Wonder Woman goes, that's a custom for somebody, so I'll just keep plugging away on that like normal. So that'll get done during the week. I'll try to do Picardo streams, but this past 2 weeks I've had family stuff going on, so I haven't had a chance to really sit down and do anything. Alright, so next week we'll plan out the sash. We'll work on her head position. We'll work on the zipper. We'll try to get that done. And maybe I'll have this position where I can actually set her up. Because it'll be hard as hell to do her head without having her set up in the base. Alright, that's where I'm calling the stream, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Have a good weekend. And I'll see you next week.